Hi everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great day. So today we're going to be talking about this little bad boy, the Nars All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. So we've seen loads of reviews for this here on YouTube land, and I've seen loads and loads of people either loving it or hating it and not much in the middle. So having lived with this baby for a year roughly now, I wanted to talk to you about it because I am a fan. I'm a big fan, but I get the struggle, so I kind of want to talk to you about it, help with any issues that I've seen are the kind of common problems people have with it, and try and help you out if you've got it and you're not getting on with it, or if you want to try it or you're not sure if it's for you and you don't know what colour you are and all that kind of stuff and you want to find out more, then stay tuned. It is supposedly a full coverage, natural finish, so it's not glowy and it's not matte, it's kind of in between. I found it fairly easy to find my match. I just kind of had a look online at the descriptions and ordered the one I thought was the best match for me, and it was a really, really good match. I then got matched for the Sheer Glow in store, and they matched me to the same colour that I got, which is Punjab, which is medium 1, and that's described as a medium with peachy golden undertones, so it's kind of warm neutral in the middle of the range. So that was my match. I'm generally like an NC 25 to 30 in MAC, if that helps match you, but we'll talk about shades a bit more in a minute. I had this bottle for a year. It's a gorgeous bottle, this really thick luxurious glass, and this black top is really soft, beautiful finish, sort of frosted glass, and you can actually see through it. Under the lights it's going to be a bit tricky, but it's up to about here, so I'd say it's probably about halfway through the bottle, and like I said, I've had it a year and it has been like my go-to pretty much day-to-day foundation for that whole time, so you are going to get your money's worth. It may seem expensive, but I would say actually it's for like cost per use, it's going to be minimal. You do get a pump, excuse the mess, which you don't with the Sheer Glow, which is weird, but yeah, so you do get a pump, so it's minimal mess, and one pump is like one drop. So in comparison to like say a Studio Fix fluid or a Armani, where a pump is like an actual pump, it's going to last you probably 5 or 6 times longer, because the same amount of product but such a minimal amount per pump. So let's look at these shades. So as I said, I'm a NC 25 to 30 in MAC, and this is probably my closest matching foundation that I own. It's a really good match for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put up a shot of the shade recommendations from Temptalia website, which is run by an amazing lady called Christine. In no way sponsored, she doesn't even know who I am. It is just my obsession, my beauty blog obsession. I do not buy a foundation without going on that website, because it has the best foundation matrix. So you can go on there, you put in your shade in a foundation that you know matches you really, really well, and then you can get a recommendation on what shade you'll be in a different foundation. So that is how, if I've got to buy something online, which I do all the time, then I will go there first and check that. So I'll put up some recommendations from Christine over at Temptalia for your shade matches. Okay, so now we're going to do our application of the foundation and see what it looks like on my skin. So just a few notes on my skin at the moment. Is pretty standard as it is. It's usually pretty normal. I don't really have any dryness, any dry patches. I do have a very slightly oily T-zone, like between my eyebrows, down my nose, and my chin is generally where foundations and products in general break up first. I do have some rosacea, which I'm not sure how badly it's showing up on camera. This side is probably the worst side, and you can kind of see it just here. It's not at its worst at the moment, it's actually doing quite well at the moment, but that is my kind of main thing that I try to even out with foundation. So that's that. Now I'm going to use my usual kind of primer, which is the Stila One Step Correct. It's a skin tone correcting and brightening serum. It doesn't do anything crazy, so it's not going to affect how we see the foundation. So that's the main thing. I want to make sure that you guys see the foundation and all of its kind of properties as it is, and so it's not affected by this primer. So this primer is a really good base for foundation, but it's not like super glowy, it's not super mattifying, so it isn't gonna affect actually how the foundation applies or change like the properties of the foundation. So it's not going to make it more luminous than it would be without it. It's not going to make it more matte. It's just literally giving us a nice base for the foundation. I sort of did think about maybe just not doing a primer at all, but I think because most people would use primer with foundation, and I always do, it's kind of the fair test. But just like I said, using that primer that isn't going to change it. So any primer that you guys use that's a sort of standard primer is going to have the same finish with the foundation. So that's all in, and I'm just waiting until it's just slightly tacky. So the first thing is to shake it like holy hell, because it is, as you can probably hear it, it's really runny, really liquidy. So what I then do, and you'll see, I try and make sure that you can see how little 1 pump is. Did you even see? It's a drop, literally a drop. So then I get my ring finger and just warm up the product for like a second in my hands, and then I just dab it onto my face and my forehead, and I'm going one side at a time. It does sort of set quite quickly, so you want to work quite quickly. And I'll also just go and wipe the back of the remainder from my hand onto the beauty blender. So as you can hopefully see, it goes in really easily and really quickly. And that's a pretty good comparison to see kind of one side of my face to the other as far as the coverage that it's given me. And again, with that like tiniest amount, and as I say, this foundation, I mean, you can see, you can't see because I've shaken it. Shut up, Charlotte. But you can see, I'll show you, that I'm about halfway through that bottle and I've had it for about a year, and it is like my pretty much staple go-to daily foundation. So that is all in, and it's pretty quick. It's not sort of, you know, taking a lot of work, just bouncing that beauty blender all over. And while it's definitely cancelled out a lot of the redness, a lot of the smoothing out, by my book there's no way that is full coverage, and that one dot that you saw me do is supposed to do your whole face, so I'm just really not sure how that works. And like, I guess maybe it is because you're supposed to do it with your hands. So let's try doing the next side. So there you have it. So that's one drop on each side of my face. So like I said, I haven't got a huge amount of skin problems going on right now, but it has pretty much evened out my skin tone. You can still see a little bit of redness peeking through. So at this stage, if you've got like acne scarring or much worse rosacea than me, it's not going to have covered it. So that's kind of the thing to note. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do an extra drop, which I would never normally do. I don't even really know why I'm scared of it. I'm scared because it says 1 to 2 drops. So I'm like, all 3 drops. Don't do it. But we're going to try today for you guys, because if you do have more to cover than me, or you want more coverage than me, I want you to see what happens when we do that. So we're going to go for the 3rd drop. So that has actually built very well. And you can see that that's now pretty much covering everything that I've got to cover. But again, I've not got really crazy stuff to cover right now. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of my face makeup so that you guys can see kind of how it works with my other products. So I'm just going to use, like I said, all my usual products that I would usually use, so you can see how it works with them. I've never before had any issues with this foundation working with other products at all. Of course, today will probably be the day. And I don't normally apply this with my finger, by the way, but I've literally left all my brushes in the other room, so good start. So yeah, so we're using the Pro Longwear concealer now under my eyes and just all the normal places, and I don't have any problems at all with this product as far as working with other products or anything like that. And it's not feeling at all sticky, so I'm not sort of getting that, you know, that tug on the brush like you sometimes get if your foundation is still wet. So I think it would quite cope with not being set with powder. I definitely think you could get away with that. It's feeling really nice. Oh, go away, hair. What's that? Concealer. On my hand. This is why I don't like putting stuff on my hands, you see? You see, Nars? It is odd because I have read about this, the same with all their foundations and things like that, is that they say they recommend applying it with your hands. I'm like, but why? Because no one likes applying stuff with their hands. So why wouldn't you just make one that we could apply with a brush or a beauty blender like everybody else? So next I'm just going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow for some bronze and glow, I guess. That's what it says on the tin. So this is just MAC's Peaches Blush. Everything is just easy as everything. This foundation, never had any problems with applying stuff over the top. Works really well with everything. Nothing's fighting with it. And like I said, it really does like photograph beautifully. So this is my finished makeup. And now I'm just going to go about my day. I'm going to see how it holds up, how it wears, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to take a flash photo now so that you guys can see how it copes with flash. So yeah, so there's no flashback, photographs really beautifully, really well, as you can see. Yeah, so let's just kind of go about our day and do a bit of a wear test and see whether it lives up to its 16-hour claim, although we're not going to wear that long. It's now 1:30, so we'll check in about 8 hours, which is kind of my sort of judgment on a foundation, whether it wears well or not, and let's see how it's doing in 8 hours time. I'll see you then. Okay, so looking at my watch, we're now, by the magic of time travel, about 8 hours into my day when I put this foundation on. So just want to check back and see how it's looking. So just having a look in my mirror, it's still pretty much exactly as it was. So the only slight place where there's maybe a little bit fading is like my chin, which is probably where most people's foundation starts to fade. Slightly just off my nose, here is where I just itched my nose and rubbed that off. And then you could just start to see on the rest, like my redness just starting to peek through now. So that's after like I said, about 8 hours, and it's not bad at all. You can also see that it's just gone into my smile lines slightly here, which most of my foundations do, but perhaps if I had put down like a smoothing primer first, that might not have happened. So yeah, and other than that, there's no real oils seeping through too much. There's not that much fading. You can still see like my bronzer and my blush is still on. No major issues, and I have had like quite a day. I've been running around, been doing errands, been doing busy stuff all day. I've also been playing with my kids, and that's probably why my chin is like rubbed off, because I've been like kissing them and playing around with them and attacking them, and general other things. So that's probably why. So yeah, that's kind of how it's worn throughout the day. It's pretty good. 16-hour wear was the claim, so I kind of would query exactly how well that's going to hold up. I don't really want to test that myself, but maybe if you can, comment down below and let me know how you get on. So pros for this foundation are, it's long wearing, it photographs beautifully, it has a fairly decent coverage, and the finish is really nice. It's not flat, it's not too matte, but it's not glowy. I think as far as cons are concerned, I'm not sure it would be the best with dry skin. I have read and heard people with really dry skin who have dry patches, they all cling to patches. Having said that, if you have got dry skin, maybe give it a go with like a really moisturising primer and see where you go with that. Let me know if you tried it, you've got dry skin and it works for you. So yeah, so not great with dry skin, so I have heard. The effort involved with the application is a bit of a process and finding how to make it work for you, so that's a bit annoying. And I guess if you have got crazy rosacea, or you know, real crazy breakouts going on, or if you've got acne scarring and you really want to cover it, or like there's something like, you know, really intense freckles or whatever that you really want to cover totally, I don't think you're going to get there with this. I feel like the amount you'd need to put on in order to achieve that coverage, you could probably do it way easier, way quicker, with less effort, and a better result with a higher coverage foundation. So that's kind of the cons for me, but it's definitely a winner for me. It's definitely my kind of go-to everyday, day-to-day, easy, natural looking foundation with enough coverage for me on a daily basis that it's going to hide anything I want to hide and really even out my skin tone. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you love it or hate it, if you've tried it and and found a better way to apply it than what I'm doing, or you know, you found a better way that it works, then let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to help each other out with your colour matching in the comments below. That's how we find our matches. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching, hope to see you in a future video. Okay, bye. It has a nice natural... Shut up. What are you on about? Diet Coke break. It has... I just spat at you. Stop tapping the bowl. Stop tapping the bowl. Sorry, put it down. Let's put it down. We'll finish with it.